You
Yeah.
look so professional.
Oh,
Oh my God.
stop.
Yeah.
Wow,
You
it's good
got
to
your
see you,
ring,
bro.
got your ring light and everything. Where should I look?
Who,
Should look
who
there.
doesn't have a ring light after 7 months of fucking Zoom calls and seeing what we truly
Exactly.
look like?
Exactly. I've actually got I've got a ring light as well, but now I have to plug the phone in.
Ugh, don't stress about it. I don't really do much with the video anyway. It's the audio podcast. I just keep this for fun.
Oh, how are they gonna see my bitching ass?
Oh, it will. Yeah, oh, let's do that. Okay. Well, firstly, welcome to the show, Trevor Gumbi. It's wonderful to
Oh,
see you.
oh, it's nice to be seen.
Oh, hang on a sec. I'll do this quick. There you go. A pro intro. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me tell you. We'll get into this now. I'll tell you what we're drinking first. I don't know. I've
Ah,
never had this. Right. This is the So apparently this is an inaugural single malt release from the new Ardnamurchan distillery in Highlands of Scotland, and it is a whiskey softly peated, some pineapple biscuits and some sea air, exclusively available from Whiskey Brother. That's what we're drinking. So let's have a look.
bullshit.
Listen, before we open these, I've only speak to you once every 10 to 15
You-
years, roughly.
Basically, what happened to the good old days?
I'm not doing it. Are you cool to drink?
Yeah,
There's nothing weird there, eh? We can talk about
no,
it if you
no,
want.
no. Wasn't my drug of choice.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. So, gorgeous bottle of maps of Scotland. I mean,
Yeah,
of that. Okay, that looks nice.
McCann.
Where's that? Looks like Game of Thrones maps.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but then I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
because
very
Game of
Game of
Thrones invented
Thrones.
maps.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't end as badly as Game of Thrones.
Well, let's find out. Are you ready to give this thing a go?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it. I wonder. Okay, how the fuck do you? Oh shit. Sometimes these very, very good whiskies, they're hard to. Oh, okay, I'll take it back. Not that
You were
hard.
saying they how to what?
uh, come on. Okay, wait. I've got it. I've got it.
I can tell. I can tell that it's a good whiskey just by the fact that it's not a Swiss cap.
Yeah, the little cork pop.
Yeah,
Okay.
that already says fancy.
Ooh, that smells nice.
Yeah.
Can you see? Can
That,
you can you smell the sea breeze air, whatever it is?
no. How do
That's
you
what it
smell
says.
sea breeze air?
That's what it says. It says um, the whiskey is softly peated, so expect a bit of smoke, pineapple, biscuits, and some sea air. Which I'm
They put biscuits in this.
yeah. Just gonna check if I have any biscuits. I got ripped off. There's no biscuits in mine.
Exactly. Exactly.
Are
I
are
don't
you
know
happy
how
to?
to smell. I don't know how to smell a sea breeze. Although I grew up in Durban, and well, the sea in Durban just kind of like smells like ethnic food and vagrants.
True. Yes.
When last were you at the coast?
Well, I live in Cape Town, but I was last in I've been Durban. I did quite a lot of film shoots last year before the world ended in Durban. So I did quite a bit of
Before the
Durban,
world
and
ended.
you pardon?
Before the world ended.
Yeah, before this global pandemic stopped people from being able to go anywhere.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. Gumby, cheers. Lovely to see you.
That's what real whiskey tastes like, eh?
That's good, eh? That's
It's
very
Scottish.
nice.
I noticed that you don't have ice. Is that the correct way of drinking a whiskey?
So I've had a lot of arguments about this. I actually keep mine in the freezer. And
Oh,
it's actually, to me, it's the best. But I was told recently by a whiskey aficionado friend of mine that that's sacrilegious to do that. But my
because you
response
bruise
was,
it.
fuck you. It's the best.
But you're bruising it.
Yeah, because I think what happens is if you put it in the freezer, it gets like icy cold, and then you don't need ice blocks. It just tastes really good. And I
It's the
must
same.
actually,
It's the same damage as putting ice blocks in it because you're bruising it. If it
boozing
will
it. What kind
bruise,
of, what?
bruise. I bruise
Oh,
easily
ah.
because it's like a grape fermented, and putting the ice breaks it up, the particles.
This is
Like how
stuff,
when you
how do you know this stuff?
I drink a lot.
So what, are you
No,
drinking
but
yours neat as well, though?
yeah, I am because I heard that's the
Okay.
correct way of drinking it, and I didn't want to come onto your show and mess up the poison.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited to chat to you. I'm such a big fan of your work, but I have dug up, you're not going to believe this. So we worked together once long before Trevor Gumbi, right? Do you,
Absolutely,
and
those good
I,
old days that I was talking about.
I look what I want to show you what I found because this is quite shocking.
What'd you find?
Um, I'll show you now. Have a look at this.
I mentioned Shabir Sheikh earlier in the show, but I have one question, and I'm trying to put this delicately. Can somebody put a leash on that guy? I mean, he gets out of a 15-year prison sentence.
If you could
with
see
what
Trevor's
is
face
looking
now.
more and more like a phony health concern. He can come and go as he pleases. No one cares that this guy is on a
Darren
par with the
Moore.
Watergate scandal.
So just for everyone who's listening to this, Trevor and I worked on a TV show. Like I don't know what year was this? Do you remember?
It's probably 11 years ago.
11 years ago. So that's 1886. Um, it was hosted by Darren Moore. It was called Last Say on Sunday, I
Yeah,
think.
and you produced it, directed, and wrote.
Just these terrible sketches. I found them. They are so awful, and most of them were shot by myself at my own house. But
I
I
love the one
found
where you were in spandex.
I found that as well. But this one I didn't remember doing until I found it. But check this out.
As far as fraud is concerned, but no, he knows people, so nothing happens to him. Is there no justice? With all that's going on in this country, can't we at least find one person who has the decency to embrace justice?
Remember this, like it was
In the
yesterday.
eyes of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth from wrong from right.
You don't age.
Say again?
You don't age.
What are you talking about? Look at you. This is you.
I
You
was
could be
shocked.
doing. This is you.
I was shaped like a bag of blood.
Oh, look at that little photo. I'll tell you this, we wouldn't get away with a lot of this stuff on TV now. I found a little group of these things and they are quite offensive.
Oh.
Anyway, in this particular episode, we go looking for Shabir Sheikh. We end up beating up his gardener, his father, and do you remember the punchline on this? Hold on, I'll play 2 minutes of it. Hold on a sec.
No, play it all.
You want to play it? Okay, I'm going to play it.
Play the whole thing.
That's where the ranger's gonna pee.
Walter, where have you been?
Sorry about that, Jimmy. I had to sort out an earthquake in Pakistan. What have we got?
So
This is
bad.
Shabir Sheikh. He's on medical parole, but he's seen driving around Durban in a BMW, all healthy, fit and well.
There's one thing I hate more than child molesters, murderers, and gangs. It's people that get let out on the medical parole thing, and they drive their BMWs.
Exactly.
Let's go pay him a visit.
Wait, Voter. Apparently he's got 30 armed bodyguards.
It's Voter Texas Durban Ranger. I mean, Voter Durban Ranger. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm explaining the jokes to you, Trev.
Oh, I got them.
You got them the first time.
Bro, I'll go easy on them.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we're here at his house.
So what now, Voter?
Let's see if we can go around the back.
Hey,
What are you doing here?
I'm working, I'm cleaning the pool, sir.
Now, I heard Shabir Sheikh's here. Now, where is he?
He's upstairs in there. I can take his fine, sir.
Don't lie to me. I know he's here. Didn't your mother ever tell you not to lie to a Durban Ranger?
I can take his fine.
Oh, so you want to play like that, do you?
Wait, that's Sheikh's father.
Yes.
Mr. Sheikh,
Yes.
we're looking for your son, and don't lie to us.
Oh, he's upstairs. You want me to take him?
Oh,
Let's
so
go.
you want to play it the hard way. Didn't your mother ever tell you never to lie to a Durban Ranger?
No, he's... Hey, go.
This is painful, man.
Mr. Sheikh, wake up. Shabir Sheikh, you've been busted. We're taking you right back to
Man,
prison.
wait. Busted for what, man? I'm sick. I'm ill. Bedridden. Can't you see?
Oh, yeah. Well, how come, then, you're still wearing your party clothes?
Well, the doctor said that the party outfit will help me with my depression, so, you know, it helps me feel better.
Sorry, buddy. Let's go. Time to go. Back to the jail.
No. Listen to me. My mother warned me I would never, ever lie to the Durban Ranger. Trust me.
Oh, well. In that case, I think we've actually made a bit of a mistake here. We're sorry to bother you, Mr. Sheikh. We hope you feel better.
Thank you.
And recover soon. All right. Sorry about your father.
My father? What about my father?
Brilliant, brilliant, my bro. You are like so far ahead of the curve. It's insane to think about how many years ago that was, and to think about the tight budgets we worked with at Urban Brew to pull something like that off. It's very SNL.
Well, I can't tell if you're being serious right now or not, because isn't it?
I am. I'm not being.
Oh.
I'm not being facetious at all.
I found. I can't even talk about it. I'll tell you off air. I found another sketch which I
Wow.
will be.
Shut up.
I found a sketch that I shot at home in front of a sheet. It was during the days of Caster Semenya, and I can't tell you more than that because it's the type of sketch that would get me cancelled today if it ever comes out.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? The cancel culture is needed because people have been getting away with a lot of really horrendous things. But my question, Savage, is where do you draw the line between malice and satire? Because what we do is satire. We're not looking to hurt people's feelings or discredit them. We're raising bigger issues through humor. So where do you draw the line between malice?
Well, let me ask you the
and
question.
satire?
You are one of the edgiest stand-ups that I've ever seen, and you cross all the lines all the time. So surely you have spent
Right.
a lot of time dabbling in this area. So where do you find? I mean, where have you drawn your most criticism that you think was unfair?
I wouldn't say it was unfair. I would say I drew a lot of criticism in my earlier years, in my formative years as a stand-up comedian, where I didn't explain properly my subject matter and why I would speak of the things that I speak on. And I've, excuse me, I've grown to learn that you speak about things that have affected yourself, and you speak that I speak from a point of self-deprivation, which gets my message across. I cannot speak on being a Indian woman in South Africa because I'm not an Indian woman in South Africa. Although they go through things, I cannot speak for them. It's not my place. What I need to do as a South African man is for once listen. What I do speak about are the trials and tribulations that I've gone through. My last stand-up comedy tour was called the Divorce Tour, and I speak about infidelity, bankruptcy, um, friends, family, all the things that contribute towards a failed marriage. And I've lived it, so I'm speaking my truth. You know, it's it's just like why blackface when an artist performs in blackface, they get cancelled because it's not your lived truth. So you can't speak on the plight of black people just because you, as John Savage, have put on blackface. You know, you're taking somebody else's story and somebody else's plight, and you're making a mockery of it. But you can speak on being a ginger bearded white man in South Africa who still hasn't acclimatized to the heat.
Well, let me ask you a question that might seem. Um, are you allowed to have an opinion on other people's cultures and perspectives, or you can only have an opinion on white ginger bearded mlungus?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one, John.
Because to me, that's where the lines are blurred. Because an artist, you know, I mean, I understand. I support everything you're saying, and I agree with it. But where the line is blurred is if I'm a singer and I want to write a song about being a woman, I can do that. I can give my interpretation. That's not being offensive to an entire population of human beings. I can have an opinion or an outlook or a perspective on different races, different genres, different cultures. I should be allowed to have that opinion. I don't have to have lived something to be able to empathize with something or imagine something without disrespecting that culture, don't you think?
I believe so. And your question was, are you allowed to have an opinion? And I agree. You can have an opinion, but you can't be opinionated about it if you're not in it. Um, there's that guy who lives in Cape Town as well with the black long hair,
Is it
and
Deep
he's
Fried
gotten
Man?
into so much trouble. Oh no, he's a singer.
Is he this guitar player
It's
that
not
I think it's called?
Daniel Friedman.
It's not him.
He's called who?
Is it Deep Fried Man? I think we're speaking about the same guy. Or is it the Kiffness, maybe?
The Kiffness guy. Yeah, the
Right,
Kiffness.
right, right, right.
Yeah. He's gotten into a lot of trouble because what you were saying, Savage, is, and I get you. I honestly get you because I've known you for so long, and I know
I'm not
where
putting it
your
forward
heart
as my
is and where
opinion.
your
I'm
mind
just
is.
I'm just exploring, is all.
Yeah, I know you for a very long time, and I know where your heart and your mind is. I know where your creativity is. So I would be, for example, I would be very open to things that you put out there. But for a person I don't know who's got a very big following and his or her comment section is very jaded and one directional, I would question that and I would question their motives. You know, so
So doesn't that answer your question? Your first question is where's the line? What is the thing? Surely your intention is the thing that defines what it is you're doing. You said it actually at the beginning, your motives. But you can never know
That's
someone's
right.
motives. So how do you navigate this tricky space?
I tell
Who
you
fucking
know,
knows?
like, I got married again. I got
Congratulations.
remarried. Yeah, the reason I told you that is for you to answer your question, which is how do we navigate this new normal when it comes to the cancel culture and what lines are crossed and whatnot. How how I navigate it is I take it from the fact that I got remarried. My first marriage ended in divorce, and one of the things I've learned is to just keep quiet and listen. Don't speak.
That's
Just
so
listen.
hard. It's so hard.
Exactly. Exactly. It is. But we've just got to suck it up and do it.
Mm.
We've honestly got to just suck it up and do it because fuck, when you're talking, you don't hear the other person's side of the story. And people just want to be heard. And some of the times we can learn something from them. You know, it might sound like it's little, or it might sound like somebody's just going off at a tangent, but people want to be listened to. People are going through a lot of stuff, and suicide is on the rise. But people don't feel well, and people want to be heard and listened to. You know,
How has this lockdown affected your home life?
it's actually gotten better.
It's cool, eh?
Yeah, as a stand-up comedian, I'm home most of the time. If I've got work, it's at night. So now that my wife is working from home and the kids are homeschooling, it's so great just to be around them all the time. I do miss my private time, but not more than I enjoy being around them. You know, so because some days are lonely, and you know, as a creative, your temperament is just different. You know, so it's
And
been good for me. How's it been for you?
it's been. I've had quite an interesting lockdown.
You got a ring
Right,
light?
I got a ring light, man, and then and then lockdown was easy. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Um, no, it's been good. It's been actually. I'll never leave my house again. I've decided, and not for not for fear reasons, but because it's so much better. Actually, I love hanging out with my kid. I love hanging out with my family. It's doable, and I worked harder than I've ever worked in my life over this lockdown. I did many new things. I created some technology that really it was incredible. I went on a mad roller coaster where I created this sort of piece of tech that enabled comedians and artists to monetize their live streams.
Oh
And
yes, you told me about that when lockdown started. You told me,
yeah, and
yeah.
that was just an amazing roller coaster because thousands of people were using it, and I think it ended up being a big financial disaster in the end, which was not its intention. It wasn't going to be a business, but I think it really helped a lot of people. And
Right.
some people have I've got some nice emails from some people to say that that's the tech that saved them through like got them through lockdown, and so that was really cool. But
That is brilliant.
at one point in the middle of that, the Americans picked it up, and I was on a road to like a $1 billion tech company, having never, I don't know, fuck all about tech. I know nothing about it. I just got lucky. Like I just came up with this little stupid thing. Developers came in, the American market came in. It went like this, and then it went like this, and then wrong
But
people,
why?
wrong. Well, so many reasons. But really, I didn't know what I was doing. That's what, once you go into that, I was way out of my comfort zone there. I don't know anything about technology and technology companies in the US market and stuff. So I just made all the mistakes that someone could make. So, but it was fun though. That was the first 3 months or 6 months of my lockdown. It was just that very intense roller coaster ride. That. But
No, I think it was 3 months because then went into Amp Studios.
well, yeah, well, Amped I've been doing for a couple of years, so the Amped never went away. That it was just that once I started hemorrhaging money out of this business, I went, okay, I'm out. It's back to my old life.
Oh, all right.
But-
all right.
So
But
have you
kudos to
started?
you for actually doing it?
That was fun. It was a fun thing. It was a weekend epiphany that when it became a roller coaster. Have you started doing shows again yet?
I have. I had my first show last week in Monte Casino. It was scary, just because of the whole COVID thing and being in an enclosed space with so many people who are jovial because of the flowing drinks and just all social distancing kind of fell out the window. And I was worried because I'm with strangers and they want to take pictures and they want to hug, and there was a table that had a birthday and people were hugging and kissing. I was like, is it too early still? Yeah, because I want to work, but I don't want to die.
There's always that awkward moment when people come for an embrace and you have to decide whether to accept it or to be the douchebag that puts your elbow up.
I'm the douchebag.
Me as well. How's your whiskey going?
Good. I'm feeling a buzz though, eh?
It's nice, eh?
Yeah. It's a Monday buzz.
Now you see, now this is.
I'm gonna hit Tiger now.
There's the Trevor I know and love. I remember that Trevor.
Yeah. What? Don't you miss four ways?
No, I never missed four ways.
Yeah, it's all the breakers.
That's right.
I hate it.
So what was your? You said that whiskey was not your poison. What was your big bad poison?
Yeah, look, whiskey and any kind of liquor wasn't really my drug of choice. I fell in badly with cocaine and heroin, and that's
Jesus, you were doing heroin.
on the odd occasion, yeah.
Hectic.
It was, and it was a living hell for a big part of my life. And quite honestly, that's what caused most of my relationship problems with my ex-wife and my family. You know, because it affected my relationship with my mom and my sisters. Because I knew what I was doing was wrong, and I didn't want them to see me that way. Not because I cared so much about how they feel. It was the selfish reason of not wanting to be caught.
Who knew and who didn't know? Do you think they didn't know?
I think they knew. And yeah, fuck, everybody knew, didn't they? Because I was in the public eye then, and I was working on a celebrity gossip show from Zatu Magic called Headline.
Proper rock star back then, eh? Well, still are.
Dude. Nah, back then I was licking strangers' faces. I was like, why would you lick someone's face? Ugh.
Just seems like something you should do every now and then. Not too often.
I think I was patient zero for COVID.
They discovered that the COVID was basically transmitted from one tongue to the rest of the world.
To the rest of people's cheeks. It was my saliva and Mac based.
Well, I guess maybe it wasn't such a good idea in retrospect, but who knew?
Exactly.
And how did you?
Is that a Halloween basket behind you?
No, it's just a basket
Oh,
of kids' toys. It's
it looks like there's a Halloween pumpkin in it.
You know what
Oh,
happens at in lockdown is that the part of the house the man is allowed to be in becomes the storeroom as well for everything else in the entire
wow.
house. So my work room is also the storeroom for all the kids' toys that they've grown out of, and what looks like a pumpkin is actually a crane.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So how did you stop? How did you get to the end of all of that?
it was after many interventions and failed rehabs that I hit my rock bottom,
What
and
what does an
I had
intervention actually look like? Is it like in the movies?
now it's like a very sad surprise party.
Yeah.
It's
You
like
come home.
all your friends and family are there, but there's no fucking balloons or streamers. It's just angry people saying, "Why are you all angry?" Because this is what led to it, right?
Mm, mm.
It was a Thursday. I was working at Urban Brew shooting a show that shot every what was it every Monday morning because we had to read the gossip papers on the Sunday, and then Monday we basically based the entire show on the gossip that those newspapers wrote about. So on a Thursday, I was sitting at home with my then wife, and I'm bored as fuck. I was like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go out with some friends. And she was like, "No, you will sit here and you will watch this movie with me and you will love me." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I
Did
sat
she?
there.
Can I ask you? Your wife obviously at the time knew you were doing a lot of drugs and stuff, and how was she handling that?
She wasn't handling it. It
And
was
were you?
fighting at home.
So she was telling you.
Yeah, yeah. It was fighting at home and stuff. So then I was like, I sat, I watched the movie with her. The movie ended. And then I was like, okay, it's Friday tomorrow. Tonight's a school night. I got to go to the garage and buy some bread and milk for Samis and breakfast tomorrow. Kids are going to school. I get in the car, drive out the house, and I call my friends up, like, yo, what's happening tonight? And they're like, yo, we're all out in Cape Town. I was like, bet, be with you just now. I drove to R Tambo.
What?
Yeah, I drove to R Tambo instead of the garage down the road. I got there and they were like, okay, you're going to have to be on standby if you want to go because it's fully booked. Luckily or unluckily, somebody didn't make it and I was on standby and I got the flight. So,
Jesus, this is fucking
right,
crazy.
yeah. I tell the guys, yo, I'm on the way to Cape Town. Pick me up at the airport. Get there, land at the airport, walk out. My friends are in this huge black tinted out BMW. I'm like, that's the fucking business. I get in and we drive to this place where, because one of my friends who lives in Cape Town, his dad was a minister in the government. And he stays at that place in Cape Town where all the ministers and the president's house is. It's like all gated community thing. And we get to the house, we get in, there's like these Asian prostitutes all dancing around like almost butt naked, and everybody's in their undies. There's piles of cocaine on different coffee tables and different shelves in the microwave because Hobby sold them something too moist, so you have to heat it up in the microwave.
Jesus.
Yeah. So first night, I'm in there, Asian prostitutes, mountains of cocaine everywhere. I wake up the next morning, halfway in the shower, halfway in the bathroom. Stumble out, try to find my jeans. Find my jeans. My wallet is there, but cash is gone. Other pockets, my cell phone is gone. Asian prostitutes nowhere to be found. Wake the guys up because I came with nothing, not even a toothbrush. I'm like, fuck it, guys, this has happened. I've lost my phone. I need to brush my teeth. I need to shower. I need to change. Let's go to the V&A waterfront because I knew there was a store there and I was sponsored by Puma back then. And I knew I could get free clothes from there. So we went there, got free clothes. I got undies. I got a toothbrush, brushed my teeth. Cool. We
With a Puma toothbrush.
Yeah. And we partied so hard. Like, I didn't know where the money was coming from. But everything was catered for, man. We had, like, the best whiskeys. Not as good as this whiskey, but it was good. Like, Blue Labels and stuff that I naturally can't afford. And so much copious amounts of cocaine. Weekend goes by. Apparently, everyone's looking for me back in Joburg because I've disappeared. My phone is off. No one can contact me.
And you didn't even tell anyone you were going to Cape Town, so they're looking for you in Joburg.
Exactly. Weekend goes by. The Sunday comes along. Everybody goes to Mzoli's, nah? And that's where I found out where all this money is coming from. My friend, who's a doctor who lives in KZN, he's the one who was driving the black BMW. I find out on the Sunday because we see a whole like group of angry black women coming into Mzoli's. The guys, they're all like, oh shit. I'm like, what's the matter? They're like, well, Sia, I said his name. He was here to Lobola.
Must I cut that out?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Sia was here to get to Lobola his girlfriend. So he was getting married. So he had stacks of cash for Lobola. He just decided to spend his Lobola money on us.
That's
on whiskey and cocaine.
Crazy.
Fuck y'all, right?
Yowza.
It was a mess. So now there's a huge fight inside the police. Women are crying. Other women are screaming at him because he's embarrassed the family.
This was his bachelor party, actually. He used all of the Lobola money for his bachelor party, right?
Well, he didn't ask about face. He's supposed to Lobola first and then have the bachelor party.
Jeez. Yeah, okay, cool.
So that happened. I'm like, I'm not with this. Let's go back. And the Monday, I need to go back and shoot the show. So I fly out first thing Monday morning. I go straight to Urban Brew to shoot the show. And then it's home time after the show. Driving home from Urban Brew, from Cape Town or Tambo, Urban Brew, drive home. I stop at the garage. I buy a loaf of bread. I buy 2 liters of milk and drive into the house. Because I didn't say where or when I'm buying the fucking bread and milk. That's
so on Thursday, you left the house to go get bread and milk, and you arrived back on Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
Honey, I got the milk and the bread.
Yeah. It was tough getting it, but I got it. But that's when I walked into the biggest intervention. Some family were there, some friends were there. So I know it's like a very awful surprise party because you don't know they're there, and you rock up and they're there, and instead of surprise and smiles, it's just like, yeah. And that's when they sent me to a Scientology rehab.
What? Scientology? Did you say Scientology?
Yeah, they sent me to Scientology rehab in Midrand called Narconon. It drove me crazy, dude. It's literally crazy. So the first part, you have to sit in a chair, right? With another chair, empty chair facing you. And there's like an inanimate object in the other chair facing you, like a bowl or a teddy bear. Right?
I'm following. I'm just in shock. I haven't frozen. Yeah. I'm just digesting.
Yeah, I thought you were frozen. Say something like, nothing from my side. So then, there's a bowl sitting there.
and then you've got to command the bowl. So you've got to be like, bowl, stay there. Thank you.
What's going on right now?
Bowl, stand up.
Bowl, stand up.
Thank you. Bowl, stay there. Thank you.
Hold on a sec. When you say bowl, stand up, do you have to pick the bowl up the way you're doing that
Yeah,
now?
exactly.
So you
I don't
command the
bring it up.
bowl.
Yeah. Then you say, bowl, sit down. Thank you. Bowl,
Thank you.
stay there.
I'm sorry to laugh,
you.
but this is insane.
Yeah, you had to do that for 1 hour, and then you had to do it for 2 hours, then you had to do it for 3 hours. And then you've passed that test, okay? And then the next step, you've got to sit in that same chair with a chair with somebody, one of the, I want to say counselors, but they were more like high priestess. You know, they're like velvet robes, very weird. They've got to sit opposite you, and you've got to sit as still as possible with your eyes open and engage their eyes and sit still and just look at them. And you're not allowed to move a lot. You're not allowed to whatever. You just got to
What
do
happens
that
if you
for an hour.
move? Do they shout at you if you move, or what happens if you move?
You've got to start from zero.
Oh, you got to start the clock starts again.
Yeah, because you've got to do it for an hour.
Fuck.
Then you have a 15-minute break. Then you've got to do it for 2 hours. Another 15-minute break, and then you've got to do it for 3 hours. And then you've passed. And then, so that's the eyes open, looking at the person. And then the next one is the same thing, seated in front of somebody, but this time with your eyes closed. And then you're not allowed to fall asleep or anything. If you do, the clock starts from zero. And then
How long is this torture?
it's a 6-week program.
Five.
So then when you're done with that, you're basically done with the inside upstairs stuff. After that, because the Scientologists believe that the drugs are stored in your fat cells in your body. So you can't really exercise it off because the fat cells, they go away with exercise. So you get high again because it goes into your bloodstream kind of thing. I'm not so sure how to explain that too well. I don't think I articulated it well because so then you've got to sit in the sauna for 8 hours in a day. You only come out to have a breather. And when you do come out, you have to have a spoonful of their special Scientology oil, which costs extra. It's not in the price of the 6-week program.
What's the price of the 6-week program? Do you remember?
What, 38,000?
What's the price of the special Scientology oil?
About 38,000.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So you have a spoonful of the oil, you dip into the pool, and you go back into the sauna. So yeah, that was the worst rehab facility I've ever been to. I think it closed down now. And
Okay,
they were rats.
I just want to ask a couple of questions. Do you know now whether that stuff that you just explained is real science? Does that make sense? That stored in your, or I mean, did it help? Did you? Okay, let me ask you an easier question. What were they trying? Was it helpful or not helpful? And what were they trying to teach you?
I think with the commanding of the bowl, stay there. Thank you. Bowl, stand up. Thank you. Bowl, stay there. Thank you. I think that taught me a resolve, and that taught me to command my situations. Like no friends could be like, hey, Trevor, here, I've got a bag. Have a couple of lines. I'd say, no, get away from me. Thank you. Stay away from me. Thank you. So it did teach me.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
It did teach me a certain resolve, and it taught me to keep saying no if I want no. For
So
an hour, I can tell somebody no. With
So
them telling,
in all honesty, this helped you, this process, even though you hated it. It was actually helpful to you. That's good. Interesting.
yeah, it did. It did help me. I can fault them on a lot of things, but I can't fault them in the repetitiveness of their program. I
Like
think the
brain programming.
Oh shit! I was brainwashed, Savage.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Fuck.
So was this the rehab that helped you, or was there still another one?
No, there was another one. I went to Houghton House, and that really helped me because they engaged with myself. They engaged with my history, how I grew up, the trauma that I went through. It was deep in the back of my mind, and they brought it out. The fact that I was molested by neighbors at a very young age, from the age of 8 until 12. I was molested by my 3 teenage neighbors. So
Wow.
I still have a lot of issues that I deal with being emasculated in situations. And it's something that I deal with on an everyday basis. It's not something that goes away, which is like my addiction. I'll always be a recovering addict, and I have to work on it every day. I have to say, I'm not going to do drugs today. And tomorrow, I say the same thing. I won't do drugs today. Same thing with being emasculated. It's a small thing like driving in a car and somebody cuts you off. That's the other thing. I didn't grow up with a dad because my parents divorced when I was very young. I think I was 6. And I had no male figures in my life and blah, blah, blah. So I grew up, and then no one taught me how to drive. But my wife, when we were girlfriends, my ex-wife, when we were dating, she taught me how to drive. And when I got my license and we would drive around somewhere and she says, slow down, you're taking this turn, you're going too fast, blah, blah, blah. I would take that in a very bad way because I felt like she was emasculating me. Just because she taught me how to drive, she's going to tell me what to do, which wasn't the truth. I could drive with you and you tell me, Trevor, slow down, But with a mind that doesn't process things and goes angry at first, that's what comes about it. So when
was it rage?
Yes,
turn you into a rage?
Yeah. So situations, I have to count myself down from 10. Just like when somebody cuts me off in traffic, a taxi or anybody cuts me off, I would go full road rage, cut those people off, get out and pull them out the window kind of thing. But now I think about it. Like, did this person damage my car? No. Am I late for wherever I'm going? No. So calm the fuck down, Trevor. It's not about you. That person's a stranger. They don't know anything about you. So they can't possibly be trying to emasculate you. So it's an everyday thing, just like being a recovering addict. I have to deal with the fact that I was shamed from a young age. But it's not, I wasn't wrong. I didn't do wrong. Somebody violated me as a kid. Somebody violated a kid. And I can't blame myself. And I can't blame anyone around me, That's not how children should live, in the fear of being molested by their neighbors, And we talk about Ubuntu and we talk about a sense of community. Nah, those were evil people who did very bad things to a young kid.
Yes, I'm sorry to hear all of that stuff. It's horrific.
Don't be. I was a sexy baby.
Fair. So obviously, I've again, we've spoken to each other maybe 4 times in the last 20 years, but
Right.
I'm a huge fan of your work. But I
Thank
do
you.
know how do you approach your art now? You know, and what I'm trying to
Truthfully,
what I'm trying to express is that you are such a raw nerve. That's what makes your comedy so edgy. And now it's kind of like, you make your best music when you're fucking fucked up. But
ah,
now we're like middle aged now, and
yeah,
we
you are.
we're still artists. All right. um, how do you approach your comedy differently now and are still so good?
I would say truthfully, bro. Truthfully, I speak my truth. I speak only what I go through. So there's a lot of honesty in my work right now, and I'm loving it because although I'm self-deprivating, it's still my truth. It's still my lived life, and nobody can say, "Oh, you stole that joke from so and so," because it's me. It's what it happened to me.
So do you think you're a better comedian now?
Better than
An older you? I mean, a younger you?
I can only be. You're only as good as your last work.
I mean, I think you're doing amazing work. So I'm just um,
Aww,
I took you
aww,
I took you
moist.
out of the side pocket there. I just wanted to get to the end of your final turning point. You were telling me the thing that turned you around.
I think the thing that turned me around is forgiving myself. It's really hard to because the pain, the hurt, the shame, it became a crutch. It became something to blame when I've been too lazy to finish something or when I procrastinate. I always go, yeah, but fuck, look at my life. Look at what happened to me. Yeah, look at that. That's why. That's why I didn't succeed in this. That's why I didn't finish this project. It became a crutch that I relied on to always blame and be like, yeah, but fuck, who expects anything from me? And I had to get rid of that crutch.
Amazing. Well, welcome back. Cheers. This whiskey is going really well with this.
I'm gonna fucking put some tonic in this. I'm dying here, dog.
Do it. Do it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
hold it against you. Fucking
Okay,
pussy.
cool. Ooh. You're an asshole.
Go get your tonic. I'll wait.
No, carry on talking.
Oh, okay, cool. Have you got it in your back pocket there? Is that it?
No, I have to walk to the fridge.
Okay, let's close out on some lighter stuff.
Not child rape.
That's what I was going to say. Compared to what we've been speaking to about, that's okay. Favorite comedians right now?
Favorite comedians right now? Not even on a local, international
Whatever you
kind
want.
of. Not even on a.
If you haven't noticed, the agenda for this show is drink whiskey and have nothing prepared. So there's no agenda. You can answer that question any way you want.
No. I'm saying that because I'm trying to make a point about something.
Okay.
Not my favorite local comedian or my favorite international comedian, because this person I believe to be outer worldly. He's international in my books. He's been my favorite since day one, since I started comedy. He was my manager when I started comedy. John Flismus.
Wow.
That man is just, he's amazing. He's taught me so much. He's the bravest comedian I know. I've tried to model my career around him. but he's retired now, which I won't do anytime soon. And he's just absolutely fantastic. I think the next best thing to him would be Kevin Hart, purely because of the style of comedy when it comes to self-deprivation. He's always the butt of his jokes, which I admire.
Awesome. Do you were you ever mates? I mean, this might be. I'm not part of the comedy world, so I don't know.
No, you're not.
Exactly. But often when you bring up this person, it causes lots of strange reactions because it was apparently quite a political thing. What's your take on Trevor?
Oh,
Trevor Noah.
Kudos to Trevor, man.
Yeah.
Kudos to Trevor. It's well earned. He's such a big name right now, and well, for many years now. And he's worked hard for it. And when you're on top, everyone's going to have something to say about you. And that must be quite difficult for him. My experience with Trevor is that I was the person who introduced him at his very first stand-up comedy gig at Horror Cafe
Cool.
for an open mic night.
Mm.
And when he came up to me, he's like, "Yo, can I come up? Can I do something?" I'm like, yeah, sure, Ndwanya. What's your name? He's like, Trevor. I'm like, man, shit, I'm Trevor too. What's your surname? He's like, I'm Trevor Noah. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to put you on, but I'm going to bring you up as Noah. Don't say Trevor. That motherfucker went on, killed it, and then left the stage saying, I'm Trevor Noah. I'm like, fuck, no. I knew that was it. I'm always going to be compared to this guy because how he stormed that night. He was just phenomenal from the beginning.
He was phenomenal out the gate. Is that what you're saying? He walked on stage and he was phenomenal.
Out the gate, bro. Out the gate. Yeah.
That's cool. Worst comedian.
There's a lot. Worst comedian. Man, shit. Worst comedian, some dude named Baba. Some cat from Mississippi, I think. He's a very country guy. I met him when I was performing at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. And he was doing these hack, almost blackface thing. He came up acting like a gorilla. And because he had like this, you remember Forrest Gump, like that prawn guy with that.
Yeah.
So he looks like that, and he plays at the redneck reference of black people. He just plays into, oh, I'm a chimp. And it's like, I just hated him from the beginning. And when I did my sets, unfortunately, I concentrated on him instead of doing my material because I was like, yo, I'm from South Africa, the birthplace of Africa, and none of us act like that to make white people laugh. And like, thankfully, the audience understood what I'm trying to say. And I just think he had a lot of low self-esteem, you know? And that's when I realized that there's no word in Zulu and no word in Afrikaans, which those cultures are very similar. There's no word for low self-esteem in Afrikaans, and there's no word for low self-esteem in Zulu. So I was proud of that fact. Yeah.
So just a last question. I know you got to go.
I don't gotta go. Wait, do you have a bun? Turn around.
No, I don't have a bun. I got headphones on. But I don't have a
Do
bun.
you have a bun, motherfucker? You've got a ponytail.
And even worse, I've got a fucking giant bald spot. You want to see my horrific bald spot?
Yeah.
It's. Can I tell you a story? This is my Urban Brew story, right?
You look like you got alopecia.
I'll tell you something, man. I was doing a show when I was in cassette, right? I was doing a show on one. one of these fucking urban brew shows. It was like not Nuit for Nuit, but something equally cuck. And cassette was playing, right? And they had the jib crane out, and the jib like went over the band, and I was like, this is gonna be such a great shot. Like, I'm gonna play this up. So I was like, la 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 la, and the jib goes over. The next day I watched it on SABC 2, 1, whatever it was. And this jib goes over my head, and I see my bald spot for the first time ever, and it takes up the whole fucking camera frame. And I don't get to see it, but I definitely don't have a bun. I couldn't if I tried.
All right. You're
Yeah.
forgiven.
Thanks. I did a terrible thing as well. That same show, I think I had to do a cover of Sipho Hot Sticks' Burnout, and I started it in the wrong key, and I couldn't recover, and it was quite
Unforgivable.
devastating. Yeah, it was devastating. It was pretty devastating.
Unforgivable. People hostics. You can't do that.
Yeah, fuck him.
No, fuck you.
No, I've had him on this show, actually. I love that man. That was
No
just a joke.
way. No way.
Yeah, man. I tell you what,
spoke to him?
the guests on this show are phenomenal. I'll tell you something else interesting. The show before this one, I had Pops Muhammad on the show. And
shit.
one of the things he did, which was so fucking awesome, he was giving me like a history lesson into culture. And he made us drink the whiskey out the bottle. We weren't allowed glasses. So we
Why?
were sitting here glugging whiskey out the bottle. It was great.
He's a
love that
massive
man.
drunk.
Pops is a fucking gem. I love that man. I really love
yeah?
that guy. Have you ever met him?
Okay. No.
The dude is 71 or 70, but I swear to God, he's got the brain and the heart of a teenager. He'll fucking party hard. He's innovating. He's phones me every day with new ideas for shit he wants to do. He's doing live streaming now. He's got so much he still wants to do. He's incredible.
Oh.
Yeah,
I once did cocaine with the Prince of Monaco's wife in Durban in a sewer pipe on the beach. So there. With Darren Moore.
Was that in the last say? Was that last say of Sunday days? I
You
wasn't
weren't
invited. No, I see.
It was one of those huge storm drain pipes in Durban that goes right out onto the beach. And his wife, the Prince of Monaco's wife, is from Durban, and she was a champion swimmer for South Africa. And we did lines with her in the storm drain pipe in Durban. So fuck your Pops Muhammad story.
You win, bro.
What?
You win with that story. You win with that story.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic story. Shit.
I will say though, Durban is. I find Durban, the beachfront there, so fucking hectic. Like the fucking
It's a
heroin
spicy
addicts are
pineapple.
so aggressive, bro.
Who's aggressive?
The heroin addicts on the beachfronts in Durban, they're fucking hardcore, man. They don't give a shit.
Fucking right, hey? Fucking right. They don't give a shit. Look at
No.
this dude.
How come you have a statue in your house? Who's that statue of?
No,
Is it a
it's
statue of me?
No. Do you have these abs?
Yeah, check it out. That's exactly my abs.
Far from it. My dude Fox.
What?
I call him Fox.
Why do you have a statue of a naked man in your house? What is the story there?
Dude, this is a guy. You've got decorations. I don't
No.
ask you about those fucking baskets in your house.
I've got a fucking crane. You did ask me, and there was a crane. Now you have to.
I don't ask you often.
Listen, Trevor, I want to just say, I feel honored that I got to do that crazy shit with you back in the old days. It's been amazing watching you. Your career has been fucking stellar. Really incredible. I'm such a big fan of you. And I really appreciate that you came on to talk shit with me. It's been really cool. Fucking cool. And maybe one day we'll work in the future. I don't know if you remember this. Actually, I'm remembering this on the spur of the moment. Before Trevor, just actually right before, I think he was still a Cell C giant. He hadn't become a global giant yet. I wrote this script called Team South Africa. And it was I cast you. Do you remember this at all? I phoned you about it. I cast Trevor. It was both Trevors. It was basically an A-team ripoff.
Oh,
It was all black guys and only one token white guy.
You.
Yeah. And it was basically like a version, like quite a cool. I thought what I tried to do with it was make it ridiculous, but at the same time have a lot of heart and soul, so that it actually like was something, not just a fucking stupid joke. And everyone was super keen on it, and then I never got it together. I just remembered that now.
Yeah.
But it's been a privilege getting calls from you to tell me that your phone's been hacked and someone's trying to extort me for money. That was also a highlight.
You sent money, didn't you?
No fucking way.
My wife sent money.
It was very convincing, but I think I sent you a screen grab to say, bro, I'm going to give this dude money. Is this you? And you were like, no.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that people.
Did that dude take your mates for a lot of money?
Yeah.
Fuck. I didn't even think that scam was going to work.
I just think that people, the fact that I don't ask people for help would give them a sense of, fuck, this guy's asking for help. Let's give it, because he never asked. And it's so dangerous. And I hate the fact that people wake up in the morning just to scam other people. It's awful.
No, it's terrible. And you know what the worst thing is? That I think those scams are mainly aimed at old people, and they fucking fall hook, line, and sinker. And that makes my heart break.
And they're the most vulnerable.
Yeah, totally. They don't know how this tech shit works, and that people are out there doing this stuff. Although Pops Muhammad's an exception to that rule. Dude's a fucking don.
You should change this podcast from "What's Your Poison" to "What's the most depressing thing we can speak about?"
Let's leave it there. It isn't. I know I have not spoken to anyone else about doing lines of coke with the Princess of Monaco and the pipelines of Durban. So
I have lived.
You've lived.
I have lived, and so have you. One day you should tell your story.
I'm super proud of all the shit you've come back from a fucking badass place, bro. That is really special and fucking hardcore. And also that you took the Scientologist oil. That's probably was the key to your success.
Yeah.
That's the big takeout for me.
The Scientologist oil was worse than mainlining heroin under my toenails.
Did you do that as well?
Yeah.
Oh. Ugh.
I didn't want tracks on my arms, so you got to do it between your toes. Yeah. Bad times.
Well, I send you lots of love, bro, and I hope you enjoy this whiskey, and I send love to your family, and I hope to see you at some point in the life of our future and have a drink with you in person.
Yeah, I'm coming over to your house next time I'm in Cape Town.
I fucking dare you, bro. I dare you.
You dare me?
Yeah.
All right. It's on. Bet.
On.
Bet.
Be good, Gumbi. Stay classy. I love you, Trevor. You were where it all started, and right where I never got over it.
My exes never get over me. It's the fact that I give a reach around.
Be good.
All right,
and we're out.